Welcome. My name is Andrew Barron, and this is, well, it depends, the podcast where I present pros and cons of different financial decisions so that you, the audience, feel better informed when you are confronted with these decisions in your own life. In this episode, I asked the question, should I buy a home with somebody else? But before we begin, a short disclaimer. This is being recorded on February 8th, 2023. The contents of this podcast are strictly for educational purposes only, and nothing said is to be considered investment, tax, or legal advice. It is important to discuss your situation with a professional before implementing any financial decisions, as the strategy discussed may not be suitable for you specifically. What are some of the benefits of purchasing a home with somebody else? Well, the first and most obvious thing is the shared cost. If buying a home is financially difficult or impossible on just your own resources, by bringing in a second person and a second income, this can become significantly more feasible. There's an additional benefit of having shared responsibility. Besides buying a house, you also have to maintain it. Having a second person pulls the responsibility from just you and evenly distributes it. Having a second person who is a co-owner also avoids the landlord-tenant relationship that may be difficult depending on who the person you're buying the house with is. When buying a home with someone else, you also should consider the nature of your relationship with that person. Let's consider two common scenarios: buying a home with a boyfriend-girlfriend versus buying a home with your spouse. Even if you have the best intentions, relationships can be unpredictable, and if you end up breaking up with your partner, this can be a point of contention. There is no legal method to separate the house from a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, and you'll have to settle this between the two of you. Because you haven't solidified your lives together, you still technically have separate financial goals. If one of you is in a different point of life than the other, you may have different and opposing financial goals, which can also cause difficulties. Compare this to buying a house with your spouse. For all of its complications, marriage does have a resolution in the instance things turn south, which is called a divorce. This gives you additional legal protections compared to buying a house with a non-legal and official relationship. To recap, buying a home is a major milestone. If you choose to purchase a home with someone else, besides being financially ready, also consider the nature of your relationship with them. It is important to be open and honest with your partner before making a decision. So, to answer the question, should I buy a home with somebody else? Well, it depends.